And hello and welcome everyone to the comic multiverse where the worlds of nerd meet. It's Saturday night and me and Matt are back again. We're live, we're talking it up, we're chopping it up, we're doing the whole thing, Matt. You know, Christmas is almost here. We're getting to the point where things are starting to get a little hectic. I'm feeling okay. Like I said, I did a lot of my shopping on Black Friday, but I know I got like some stockings to fill, and I'm always that person who's like, oh, I need one more gift here. Like,
Mm,
oh, you know what would
mm.
be really great?
Yeah, yeah. No, I've done all mine. I've done all mine. I did it actually early this year for some reason. I think it was the like I just had that time free, so I'm like, right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Get it done with.
Likewise, I sent out my gift baskets to internet collaborators and everything there, where it's like, look, I got to give you this just to let you know how much I care, because
Hmm. Hmm.
because we have a relationship that takes place solely through the internet, and so like I don't want to be too forward. So like, here's some cookies and shit.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, and those actually arrived on time, which is good.
Oh,
Man, I should have.
that's good.
It is good, yeah, because I never know ordering stuff for people in other countries. Shit.
Mm.
Hey, Broadway Basketeers, you guys should fucking sponsor me. I use you every goddamn year because they're the only ones who accepted PayPal back in the day. That's why I used them. But yeah, I'm good. I got some beard oil for my dad because I know he wanted it. He got a whole grooming kit there. I got a cool light array from my mom that she was asking for.
Nice, nice.
So I'm happy about that. But yeah, so what have you been doing with yourself this week, Matt?
Well, I did my Christmas shopping. Um,
There you go.
Apart from that, not really all that much. I've just been sort of chugging along. Like I think last week I said I finished God of War Ragnarok,
Yes, you
and I've
did.
just been
Very
chugging
jealous.
chugging along with like some of the achievements and the post game sort of stuff, like fighting the Valkyries and doing the Muspelheim challenges and whatnot. I'm pretty close to a platinum trophy. Pretty
Yeah, it looks like
close.
that. Yeah, it looks like that game has a great post game. I know that's the number one gift I wanted for myself this year, and I don't know if anyone will get it for me, the PlayStation 5 God of War bundle. But if they don't, I'll probably just go in fucking January and get it for myself.
I
I
was
know
I was gonna
it's
say
still a
that
pricey gift.
they're easily in stock now. They're in stock
They are.
everywhere here. So yeah.
They are. It's just, someone has to really love and care about me to pay the full like $800 Canadian for it. And I don't know if I've been that good this year. I've been a little selfish and a little self-serving.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I already bought myself a gift too for Christmas, the mic and camera that you're seeing right now, which thank you, Matt, for helping me, adjust my white balance and everything else so I don't look as shiny as I did last time. But yeah, so this actually ended up being a really big news week. Usually when we reach Christmas, New Year's mode, I'm ready to get, completely lazy and phone it in.
Yep.
I know I know last week I said, fuck it, man, let's just do a retro hero if no big news breaks. And then we'll do like our best of in New Year and we'll do like a fun Christmas video. We can slide. It's all good. It's comic multiverse. Our numbers basically stay the same no matter what we do.
Hmm.
And we've been doing it for almost 300 episodes. But then everything happened to DC and Warner Brothers all at once. Like 100 things happened.
Oh, things might have happened. It's all kind of up.
Eh.
It's like conjecture at the moment, but yeah, things might have probably definitely happened.
The man himself, James Gunn, the man at the center for all of this, for better or worse, basically said, yes, some of it is true that you're hearing, some of it is half true, and some of it is completely false. In fact, one of my favorite things about James Gunn with a position of power at a major studio is he is not afraid to just shut down scoopers.
Oh, I love him for that. He was doing that way before
Yes,
he
he
became the
was.
president of DC Studios, but yeah, uh, I just love that he just calls them on their bullshit and that they don't know what to do because
Yeah,
it's
he's like, no,
literally
it's
the
not.
guy they've been saying has been doing all this stuff, telling them no, that's not true at
Mhm.
all.
Check it out on Twitter. It's a beautiful work of art, and again, just another perfect example of why you picked the right guy. Because he's younger than a lot of these other people. He understands the internet.
Hmm. Hmm.
He also came up doing like fucking independent horror films and trauma and shit, so he's not afraid to look a scooper in their cold, dead shark eyes and go, "No, not today." And I hope he keeps doing it.
I think he will. I think he
Hey,
will.
hey, can we send James Gunn after that Matt Ramos guy?
Oh, he's already been taken down, so
Well, I notice I haven't been seeing his tweets, or I've been as forced to see his tweets near as much in my feed. So I guess, yeah, whatever YouTube god governs the
Oh,
universe
he
did
had like a
once with
bunch of
us.
DMs leak, and apparently he's a real petulant child who gets who
No,
gets
really?
upset that people like get to go to premieres rather than him, or get like interview opportunities other than him.
No, really? You mean these people who are famous for doing nothing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
are really petulant? How
Being
about
loud
that?
in cinemas full of people who are just trying to watch a movie. Did you see that one?
Yes, I did actually.
I think
Very
yeah, it
fucking
was for like the Black
obnoxious.
Adam post credit scene. Yeah, it's totally disrespectful.
Yeah, guy who makes his, money and engagement there purposely misunderstanding the best episode of Moon Knight. Yeah. These again, just totally the sort of person who's been told that they're great and smart and genius so much that they actually start to believe it.
Yeah, yeah.
See, this is why I'm glad you, the fan base of the comic multiverse, keep Matt and I, humble and good by telling us how much we suck regularly.
I would be like that fucking anyway,
Exactly right, because
because
I
I
don't know
have
what it
common
is
sense.
exactly, which is a rare commodity, you see. But yes, there was a bunch of big news that came out from the DC Warner Brothers universe right now. The new regime is taking power, and it looks like there is going to be some ripple effects going on. Starting with a story that we know is certain, 100% confirmed, they will not be moving ahead on Wonder Woman 3 at this point, which a
Thank
lot of
God.
people, yeah, a lot of people were surprised by this, but in the back of my head, I'm like, they were never going to actually do Wonder Woman 3
Yeah,
because, come on, it came out, what, 3 Christmases ago now on streaming at the height of COVID,
yeah.
and they haven't talked about anything from it since. Patty Jenkins hasn't said anything. Gal Gadot hasn't said anything at all. They weren't going to move ahead with it.
No, not at all, not at all.
Bland Boy helping us out in the chat. Thank you, especially now in this Christmas season. The hierarchy of the DC universe took Dwayne out with a loaded gun. Yeah, kind of. For all that talk of the DC universe and hierarchies of power, this was a real
Well,
hierarchy time.
the hierarchy of power did change, just not in the way that I think he thought it was going to.
We're gonna talk about The Rock later, don't you worry. I was very proud of my tweet earlier when it's like, man, there's a lot of uncertainty at DC and Warner Brothers right now. There's a lot of different theories out there. It's a real he said, The Rock said situation. Now, see everyone, that joke is hilarious because The Rock's old theme song and catchphrase was "The Rock says, the Rock says." So that joke is actually genius. You just have to understand Attitude Era Wrestling to really appreciate it. But yeah, so we're not getting a Wonder Woman 3 again. You and I, Matt, were actually in a weird position that I think you and I were more positive to Wonder Woman
I,
1984 than most people were at
there
the
is
time.
some like stuff in there that's really good, but then
Oh,
there's
for
like the
sure.
whole like fucking Steve Trevor crap
Yeah,
that
there's a lot of
somehow
problems.
got put into the film and was like a-okay.
The fact that it feels like it was rewritten 100 times, because it
Yeah.
probably was. The fact that Cheetah gets punished and yet Maxwell Lord gets to walk away scot-free at the
Mhm.
end. It just felt kind of bad. And the funny thing about that is I watched the movie once and then never watched it
Yeah,
again,
same.
which should tell you a thing or two about it. But here's the funny thing. People in my house who are here for the holidays and everything, they were watching it on my account, and I was just like half hearing them watch it in the other room. And they had like a question every 15 minutes. We're like, what's the deal with the rock? Why did they never explain the magic wishing rock? And I'm like, oh, well, that was connected to Dream of the Endless, that was like in an old script that they never did. And the more questions they asked and the more like I couldn't answer them, I'm like, yeah, I think that script sucked, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Cowboy helping us out with a very nice donation there. Thank you so much. Happy holidays, Matt and Joel. The movie I want to see is Captain America New World Order. Wonder how Marvel will use Sam Wilson in the MCU until then. Yeah, likewise.
I'm looking forward to that movie as well, just because they recently just said that the guy who's going to be doing all the production design on it was the guy behind the Rings of Power show.
Ooh,
So
that's a
it's
really
going
good
to look
show.
pretty damn good.
And yeah, they definitely seem to be leaning into a more spy direction because we're getting that Thunderbolts
Mm-hmm.
movie. They cast the actor to play Nick Fury Jr., which I thought was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
The chat too talking about things they like. Chris Pine was charming. It just felt like they needed to keep him. Yeah, there was definitely some stuff to like in Chris Pine's performance. Yes, they struggled to keep him, but you know what? That's arguably one of the truest things about Wonder Woman, because the Wonder Woman comic also struggles to keep Steve Trevor around and relevant.
The Wonder Woman comic struggles to do fucking anything to make it relevant.
I still say the best use of Steve Trevor in any Wonder Woman story was the Justice League animated episode where Wonder Woman goes back in time, fights in World War II, kind of has a fling with Steve, and then when she comes back to the present, visits him in the old age home.
I don't think they want to do that because that was literally like Steve Rogers, Peggy Carter's whole thing in the MCU.
Yeah, it's funny how, what is it, Captain America and Wonder Woman kind of affected each other. That's why that first Wonder Woman movie is in World War I and not World War II.
Well, I mean, they could have done like some sort of comic booky thing where it's like, oh, he didn't die. He drank some magic thing that made him never age, and he's still alive, and he's working for Argus, and you know,
or the god Zeus, to honor his daughter, draped her love in the mantle of immortality.
Yeah, it's just something like that. They didn't have to kill him off, and then that would have solved some of the stuff in this second film.
FYI, that mantle of immortality thing is totally a ripoff from the life and adventures of Santa Claus. That's how that movie ends, everyone. Frickin' Ack, the god of the fairies, visits St. Nicholas and says, no, specter of death, this one is not going anywhere, and drapes him in the mantle of immortality so he can bring Christmas joy forever. I've been watching a lot of Christmas specials recently. And I'm like, why is this so fucking metal that Santa, the literal gods, make him immortal? But yeah, so that's the Wonder Woman thing. Honestly, not surprising. Like, the thing, I feel like if they were going to move ahead with more Wonder Woman stuff, they would have talked about it. She would have cameoed, and she hasn't.
Yeah, well, that was also the thing where apparently Patty had written a script, and like no one liked it, and they offered her a chance to rewrite it. Probably gave her notes or anything. Rewrite these, and she just flat up refused.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm sure that they're going to have to unpack as time goes on, but it feels like a lot of those creators that stuck around, the relationship between them and the studio started to sour either back during the other regime or certainly during the new regime, because the higher-ups in the offices at Warner Brothers, I'm sure were a fucking nightmare to work with because they didn't know who was in charge anymore.
Well, it's funny because you never hear like she seems to have a problem with some of these people, but like you never hear that from like David F. Sandberg or James Wan or any of those guys.
Yeah, I don't get it. Again,
yeah,
it's a very weird situation. I'm sure we'll hear the whole story one day because I feel like we're certainly not getting it now.
Yeah. That being said, though, I don't think. I mean, this is completely like just theory. I don't think she likes getting notes and stuff because remember she was attached to Thor 2?
That's right.
And
yes.
They didn't like her stuff for that as well, which is why she didn't end up taking the job as well.
Interesting. Which is funny because that's always the argument you hear time and time again. Like, no, Warner Brothers is better because they just let artists do their art and they don't micromanage them like Marvel. Really? Because it sounds like they do.
Yeah, exactly.
It totally sounds like they do. Moving on from there, Black Adam 2, supposedly unlikely, despite the fact that The Rock shared his own box office numbers on Twitter and was like, no, actually,
pulled out of his ass.
Yeah, no, actually, it was great and awesome and made all the money. And I'm like,
I heard that the lead of the movie has like the biggest dick and
biggest.
Yeah, everyone loves him and everything. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, why are you doing this on your own Twitter? Don't you have like a production company? Don't you have people to do this for you? Why?
It's all ego.
Yeah, that's the real problem with Black Adam. It's not the fact that the movie may have lost money, but I think it really revealed Dwayne Johnson as a major egomaniac, which, again, coming from wrestling, he always maybe was. I've said this joke before, but Chris Jericho tells a great story in one of his books, Working with The Rock, when he was Undisputed Champion, and he said, that's a good move for you, but not The Rock. And that's all I can hear in this Black Adam thing. Like, that would have been a good movie for you, but not The Rock. Michael Reese helping us out there. Wasn't Gal Gadot cameo in Shazam? Was she? I haven't seen
It
Shazam.
in the new one in Shazam 2.
Oh,
I
oh, is she
mean
supposed to have a
maybe because
cameo?
it deals with like uh her pantheon and stuff. Maybe it was cut.
Maybe I say it would make sense. Again, I feel like so much at Warner Brothers is in flux right now. But yeah, the talk is that Black Adam apparently lost a bunch of money, not just at the box office. Not only did it not break even, but it also apparently lost a bunch of money in merchandising. And I think I can strongly say this as someone who has been to like multiple malls doing my Christmas
Mm-hmm.
shopping. There's a lot of Black Adam
Yep.
merchandise there
Yep.
collecting dust. They over ordered.
Yep. Yep. I saw. Yeah, literally just yesterday saw so many like Black Adam action figures and it's always just the Black like all the other ones
Yep.
sell out. Like I've been trying to find a Doctor Fate and it's fucking impossible.
Yeah, because it's a good design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I truly feel that again, Dwayne may have sold them all a bill of goods. He'd be like, no, 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 you're gonna want a million Black Adam dolls because look how
Hmm.
many wrestling figures I sold in my prime. It's gonna be the hottest Christmas toy, and it was not.
No, no. I mean, and yeah, it's just not shocking at all. I knew the film wasn't going to do very well, just leading up to the fact that they've completely changed who Black Adam is.
Yeah, yeah, he's not even the Black Adam from the comics. He's not the character that people liked. He's some weird, again, ego massage for The
Yeah,
Rock, where I'm the coolest, bestest, strongest guy in the world.
yeah, and he keeps feeding into that whole thing. It's like, oh well, I have to fight Superman now because, I can't be seen fighting Shazam because Shazam is. He hasn't said it, but he might as well have just said they're less than, so I don't want to
Yeah,
deal with them. Those sorts of people. They're not popular or anything. It's like, well, that's they fought each other for, what 60 years.
forever. It gets even weirder too because it almost feels like I would love to be a fly on the wall in Henry Cavill's house right now because I bet he's feeling like he got sold a bill of goods because The Rock's production company manager is also his manager. He clearly came to be the big cameo in Black Adam as a favor to Dwayne Johnson and also to hopefully get in good with the new regime at DC Warner Brothers because clearly at some point the plan was, oh yeah, we're going to build the entire DC universe around The Rock because he's the biggest movie star in the world and superhero movies are the biggest genre in the world. Surely putting them together
Mhm.
is peanut butter and jelly, not thinking like, yeah, but what if it fails though?
Yeah.
You put all your eggs in one basket and now you're covered in egg.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. He got way too cocky.
Way too cocky, and I'm sure Henry Cavill's like, I'm sure he's calling The Rock, being like, "Motherfucker, I quit a Netflix show for you." And Dwayne's like, "New number, who's this?" I'm not The Rock. I don't know who you are. Prank caller, bye.
Yeah, but buy my energy drink.
Exactly. It's great or bad. I don't know. I don't actually drink it. I have too much chicken to eat. And that's the thing too, where it's like, look, this isn't going to hurt The Rock at all. The Rock's like, well, okay, I couldn't save the DC universe. Okay, I couldn't make it all about me. No worries. I'll just make another Fast and the Furious, or run for president, or do another Jungle Cruise or something. I'll
I
be
don't know if he'll
fine.
do another Fast and Furious because he fucking hates Vin Diesel because they both are fucking egomaniacs.
Yeah, that's another thing too, where it's like, it seems like The Rock might be a little hard to work with. Is that why they were cool cutting ties with him and
Well,
going
I
in a
think The
completely
Rock
different
is hard to
direction?
work with. Vin Diesel is hard to work with. Yeah, neither of them made it very easy to work with each other.
Yeah, which is crazy. So maybe he will run for president, or maybe you know what, he'll go back to wrestling. They keep saying that he wants a WrestleMania match with his cousin Roman Reigns to pass the torch for him for real. So maybe he'll come back for one big WrestleMania paycheck.
I reckon he'll try one more, like he'll try and get like some superhero movie off the ground somewhere. I don't know
Right.
what it'd be. Uh, yeah, I just don't know what it would be, but like I could see him trying to make that a go. He's like, oh well, if these people can do it, I can do it.
Right. Get
Despite
get that
working for
franchise money.
how many years did he work on Black Adam for, and it turned out like
14
this.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my other thing too. When he's like, "No, Black Adam's doing great, and we're definitely going to be doing a sequel." I'm like, "Yeah, are we gonna have to wait 14 years for it?" Because, like, the dude is busy and has other shit going on, but he also really wants a franchise, because I think as Fast and the Furious showed him, oh, franchises are where the money are. Oh, wait, these are ensemble casts. What do you mean I got to do it with other people?
Yeah, I don't think he's realized that. Yeah, well, and I don't think he's realized that that's the same with like comic book movies as well. Because Black Adam was an ensemble film because it was all the JSA, and it's the best fucking part of the film.
Yeah, absolutely. So of course that leads to the other part of the story that we, had, basically talked about previously, and that is Man of Steel 2. Everyone thought it was a go. Henry Cavill basically said, yes, I'm back. I'm in the saddle. Get ready for more Superman. Only now for it to be like, we don't know actually if we want to do another one with you. It's kind of up in the air. And you know what? I can't blame them, because if I'm James Gunn and if I'm the brain trust at Warner Brothers, I'm probably thinking, okay, we could bring Henry Cavill back. We could pour a bunch of time, money, and creative effort in trying to rehab his version of Superman and make a new movie that everyone wants to see. Or we could take all that same time, money, and effort and pump it into something completely new and
Yeah,
interconnected that people haven't seen before and won't come in with, preconceived notions. Hey, we just did that with Batman, and oh, what, it was one of the best movies of the year? Really? You don't say.
I really hope they do that. I just really hope they do the nuclear option, just wipe everything off and just start again.
That
Just
that
it's the best option.
It feels like that's what they're doing, because really it's like, what do you have to lose at this point? The DC universe, even for the movies you like, and again, I've liked movies. I like Shazam, I like the Suicide Squad, I like Peacemaker. The universe as a whole has always been a misshapen, shambling mess where every
Yeah,
subsequent movie is an apology for the one
and
that preceded it.
and it all goes back to Man of Steel and like the just the bullshit that Snyder set up. He
Yeah,
tainted the well right from the
yeah.
beginning,
You got it
and then all
wrong
of
out of the
the
gate.
studio heads and everything fucking everything up, and oh, it's just a complete mess.
And all this like cut bullshit and everything
Yeah,
else, and being like, no, this will fix it. We need this vision. It's like, no, you just need to make a good movie that people like. And again,
yeah,
you can do it. People liked the Suicide Squad. They liked Shazam. They liked, a bunch of these other movies you've done. You just need to make movies people like.
yeah, exactly.
Like, the whole thing has been so cursed that, yeah, I don't blame them for wanting to start over and go in their own direction and do stuff their own way and be like, okay, we'll do it right this time.
Hmm.
And also to, maybe do something about the fact that, these actors' production companies are also heavily involved in the movies too.
Yeah, yeah.
Which,
Let's not do any of that stuff anymore. And as well, cast younger.
yeah, cast, yeah, yeah. Why did you cast so old for all of these? Well, I know exactly what they did. They're like, we need to do the opposite of the Marvel universe. We need to cast famous and older instead of younger and mostly unknown.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's how we'll get it. And as it showed, it didn't work. It didn't work, and maybe now, yeah, all these years later, it's time to do something different.
Yeah, yeah. Just get rid of it. And as well, like none of these actors have any like they're not owed any of these films.
No,
Like they're
no, they're
hired to
not.
do a job, and when they don't do that job very well, you get replaced.
And again, obviously, it's not all on the actors.
Oh no,
Movie,
not at all.
yeah, movie making is a community thing, and sometimes you die a death of 1,000 cuts. But maybe a way out of this is what they seem to be maybe wanting to do with Jason Momoa, and that is like, look, Aquaman 2 is coming out anyway,
Mhm.
but maybe we want to go in a different direction. Maybe we don't think Aquaman can be the franchise that we want it to be. Maybe Jason Momoa, you don't be Aquaman anymore, but you can be the new Lobo.
The character he should have been from the get go.
Yeah,
The
from the
character
start.
he literally just looks like.
That he just looks like genuine. I'm like, you know what? That's pretty good. Be like, look, we're not going to go ahead with your main franchise, but any of you actors can come back and be something else.
And that's
We'll just
fine.
roll
That's
with it.
fine. Like if they were like, hey, Henry Cavill, you can come back and play, Bizarro, or
That would be cool.
something a General Zod or something.
Yeah, I think there is something to be said with that. To being like, look, this didn't maybe work out 100%, but that doesn't mean we have to break ties
Yeah,
completely.
exactly.
Yeah, and like I liked the first Aquaman enough. I'm not going to say it's an amazing classic. At least it wanted us to try and have some fun. And
Yeah,
maybe the sequel will be better. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. But like, if they just wanted to stop after 2 and let Jason Momoa be something else, I'd be fine with that.
yeah, I'd be fine with that as well.
I'd be fine with that too. Freeze James Wan up maybe to do some other stuff too.
Hmm.
I always thought he was a really talented director. Maybe he can finally make that Trench movie he wanted.
Yep.
Someone actually brought up an interesting point about Lobo, where it's like, well, geez, I hope the DC universe just doesn't, try and do a bunch of D and C list unknown characters. To which I'm like, I would argue Lobo is as known, if not maybe more known, than Deadpool was when Deadpool got to be a film, because Lobo was in more TV and more cartoons than Deadpool ever was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And if they play it well, Lobo could be a good lead-in for a new Superman universe and could also probably be a Deadpool-sized hit all on its own.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, I mean, again, I'm totally fine with that. And look, I mean, the best stuff to come out of the DC universe is arguably the James Gunn tied together stuff. The Suicide Squad that leads into Peacemaker.
Yep.
The most consistent, well put together part of the universe. So again, changing gears is fine.
Yeah.
Functorial helping us out. Do you think the new DC cinematic universe will start with a crisis? Seems like an obvious way to address continuity issues, keep what works. Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to do that, I think that would be brilliant, and they could sell it to as like, hey, it's the first cinematic crisis.
Yeah, well, I mean, I figure the Flash is going to be like a reset. I would imagine. But again, like, how much of a reset? Because that's all been filmed and done and everything. So, like, how will they be able to massage it into, like, I don't know, a full reboot or whatever they plan on doing?
They also moved that movie up as well, too. It's now coming out in June.
Yeah, they want to get it out quick.
Which, again, talk about another, like, franchise here where the juice is not worth the squeeze, where it's like, okay, so we're going to have to reboot Flash anyway, because our star is unfortunately a famous, dangerous criminal. And we got to get this one out the door anyway because we put too much time and money in it, not just into the film, but also in silencing Ezra Miller's victim. So, Bland Boy, reboot the reboot, blah, blah, blah. The important thing to know is Green Arrow #1 coming out in April. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Bland Boy, too, because also on Twitter, James Gunn endeared himself to me even further by saying that he's a huge Green Arrow fan, dressed up as him as Halloween, and he prefers Green Arrow with the little hat.
Yeah, I have a feeling he'll appear somewhere else. I'd love for him to be in, like, Peacemaker or something.
Oh, I know. Oh, he would be beautiful in Peacemaker. Having him and John Cena have to team up with each other, that would be hilarious.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Also, James, James, you can't make me love you anymore, James. Again, you got your start in Trauma, and you love Green Arrow, and you dressed up as him for Halloween, and now you run the DC Cinematic Universe. My man, my guy. I can't love you anymore. My heart's just so full, wants to burst. Again, piggybacking off the back of the whole Flash conversation, apparently the Flashpoint movie 2 was also supposed to lead to a scrapped Batman Beyond movie that would have featured an older Keaton and older Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, whatever.
Which, I see you say that, but honestly, I'm a little bummed at that. I'm like, oh, see, that would have made a shit ton of money in a real Spider-Man No Way Home kind of way to be like, look, we brought back old Batman and old Catwoman, and they can finally be together now.
Yeah, you say that, but it'll be like one of those things. Oh, there's so many of these Black Adam fans, but they don't turn out to the fucking film. Yeah.
Again, I think, movie nostalgia is a strong thing. Like, I would not have thought that Top Gun would have made all the fucking money it did, but apparently people were really horny to see Tom Cruise fly some jets again. I think they'd be horny to see old Batman and old Catwoman back together again.
Yeah, but Tom Cruise still looks like he did in the original Top Gun.
Fair enough. I mean, the Scientology space medicine is keeping him young.
Yeah.
Like, look, I don't believe in any of those Hollywood conspiracy theories, but when you look at Tom Cruise, like, he's got to be doing something, though. I assume it's evil, and I don't know what. Just no one gets to keep their youth for that long without, making a deal with Satanus or something.
Yeah, Xenu, yeah.
Yeah, Xenu, yeah. How many people must you sacrifice to Lord Xenu to keep your youth? Keeping on the Batman train, too, the rumor, too, was circulating around that apparently the Batgirl directors, the now famously shelved Batgirl movie, took a meeting with James Gunn. Now, I don't know if that's going to mean that they might get their movie back, or that they might get, something on the flip side to try and make them whole again and mend fences, a la Jason Momoa being Lobo. But it's nice to see and it's nice to hear.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them being able to release back, or at least like maybe allowing them to do something with the cast or something.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do something with it.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, even if we just all gotta go to James Gunn's house and he just plays it outside for us. Look, you just gotta come here. It's BYOB. Bring your own folding chair. I'll be playing it all day. Because, yeah, I think, like, now they're in legal problems where, like, legally they might not be able to release it because they already took the tax write-off for it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, so they might be shit out of luck in that, but I don't know if there's some sort of, like, legal kung fu they can work where it's like, look, we can't release the movie as Batgirl, but shoot a couple extra scenes and call it something else, and then you can release it.
Maybe it could also be like a caveat where like maybe they do a couple more edits to it and it's technically not the same film that was going to be released, so it's it's not covered or something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's my thought. Can they do something with it, get around that? Again, I'm no lawyer. I'm especially no copyright lawyer, so I don't understand how they could work that. But I would have liked to see something with it.
Yeah.
Or even just accidentally leak it like, oh no, it's on my flash drive. I dropped it. Oh no. Oh no, the finished movie's there. I sure hope it doesn't end up on the internet where everyone can see it for free.
Yeah, oh no, my USB fell into the computer and it opened YouTube and
oh no. I do love when whole movies end up getting leaked to YouTube. That is fucking hilarious.
It is pretty good. Yeah.
It happens more times than you think. Where it's like, is this real? Am I really watching this? Did this really happen?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to see the Batgirl creators and cast made whole again, because I just feel really bad for them because their creative endeavor got fucked over solely by cold corporate money men.
Yeah, when it probably it's funny in hindsight because like they canceled that and then they announced, oh, we've only got enough money to like
movies
to promote 2 movies, both of which failed spectacularly because of all of the controversy around both of them, really.
Oh, I know. It was a hilarious fucking joke where it's like, okay, what 2 movies are you doing? Don't Worry Your Darlings and Black Adam. Oh, well, I mean, one of those has to be a hit, right? Oh, neither of them were?
Oh, what do we do now?
Not only were neither of them hits, but each of them were actually quite embarrassing on their faces.
Yeah, very.
How about that? Boy, yeah. You guys backed the wrong person. Don't worry, we'll get it back next summer, though, when we have friggin' the Flashpoint movie. Oh, isn't the star of that one a dangerous criminal that you had to pay their victim? Shit! Why did we buy this company?
Oh, so it's okay. We have Aquaman coming out. Oh, well, I mean, Amber Heard is in that film. Oh, god damn
it. It never ends. It never ends for us here. But yeah, from the DC news to some other interesting news. Apparently, Carl Urban let it drop on a podcast that he was on that Dredd 2 might actually already be in development.
Cool. I wonder what streaming service that's going to go directly to.
I know, right? Isn't that the thing? Like, we'd all love Dredd 2 to go to a theater, but we know it's going to a streaming service.
Yeah, and I do hope it actually gets made, because that first Dredd film is really fucking good.
It is, and Carl Urban genuinely seems to love the material and really want to come back to it, which warms my heart. And also, hey, you got boys' money and boys' clout now. Can't you just go to Jeff Bezos and be like, Butcher want Dredd 2, give Butcher Dredd 2?
Yeah, make it like an Amazon movie.
I'm shocked that they haven't tried to pitch that, where it's like, yo, you know how The Boys has been doing really fucking good for you on Amazon currently?
Yeah, well, I heard there was meant to be a series based on, like, Megacity.
Well, that was what they were working on, and then that fell off. Well, that was the question he was answering, apparently, Carl Urban, when they asked him, well, what's the state of that Mega City 1 show that I think was supposed to go to Netflix, but I don't know?
Yeah, something like that.
And he basically said, well, that's been rolled into, the development that's going to be happening on Dredd 2.
Nice.
So the hope is that can actually see the light of day again, if only because of his boys connection, where it's like, dude, he's as famous as he's ever been right now. Come on.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, make it fucking happen, please. Which, hey, actually, speaking of Carl Urban and speaking of The Boys, they actually dropped the trailer this week for The Boys spin-off Generation V.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, looks like a boy spinoff, and I liked the boy, so I'm sure I'll like this.
Yeah, when'd that come out?
Fairly soon actually, because the trailer looked fairly far along.
Okay.
What got me about it is that, The Boys is a show that worked so well because of so much of the stuff they found in translation. I wonder how this, spin-off is going to work, because obviously it doesn't look like they're going to be adapting any of the comic stuff for it. They're kind of
No.
going their own direction with like a super school where they teach young people to, become the next, members of the Five and everything. And I'm like, okay, there's some stuff you could talk there about, academia and how like institutions, beat down spectacular people to be like,
Hmm.
no, don't try and do any good, only try and make money and be famous.
It'll probably play very similar to the like Starlight's story where she thinks it's all
Mm,
like, oh, the heroes, they're all good guys and everything. And then she'll get to the school and realize there's like all this pressure from like the faculty and everything, and
mm,
like, and you can see like how that pressure can cause people to crack. And then there's of course like the corruptness of it all, and
right.
how it's all like uh very shallow.
Right. I could totally see it being like they could talk about track systems like, oh, you're on the superhero track, you're on the
Hmm.
sidekick track,
Hmm. Hmm.
because we don't think you're marketable enough to be like a main superhero.
Yeah,
You can
that
be a
I can
sidekick.
could see that being like a point. Yeah, you're not marketable because you're not like pretty, or
Yeah, or
yeah,
your power's not good.
yeah, you don't put out. Yeah.
Yeah, or exactly that too. Yeah, they could do some really fucked up stuff about academia. Hey, I'm sure they could also have some good stuff in there too about like like college sports scandals and everything. Being like, oh, this new superhero gets to literally get away with murder because brings a lot of money to the school and
Hmm.
everything.
Yep.
So there's definitely places they could go with it.
Hmm.
Someone said, yeah, like make it a dark and gritty Sky High. Yes, it's
Yeah.
the dark and gritty Sky High
Yeah.
sequel.
Speaking of Sky High, I'm surprised like Disney doesn't have like a Disney Plus series about that.
Wasn't it getting us like a spiritual sequel, or did I dream that?
I don't
Didn't they have like Secret Mountain, or like see it was about like a superhero family?
No idea.
Am I imagining am I having the Simers, Matt? Am I just losing it? Again, I'm sure the chat will tell us. I feel like they did do so, but you're right. I mean, if freaking the Santa Claus can get a goddamn show,
Yeah, exactly.
if the friggin' Santa Claus can get like a whole limited series, then yeah, they should do something with Sky High, the thing that they own.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm looking here. Oh no, I guess it's just stuff that was similar that they did. Hero High,
Okay.
Zoom, yeah, up and away. So yeah, I guess it was just similar stuff that they own, but not like an actual sequel.
No.
Which yeah, what a shit. Yeah, wow, you're right, Matt. They're leaving fucking money on the table because I think Sky High nostalgia is about as high as it's ever gonna be.
No, people love that film, and it was a pretty decent film.
Yeah, it was like shockingly good,
Yeah.
and like solid cast as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, I was just having a hallucination chat about a Sky High scene. I dreamed it.
Yeah, you wanted it to happen.
I wanted it to happen so badly. And I'm like, yeah, and they got back Kurt Russell and he's a grandpa now and everything. I would have bet $100 that they actually did it. Like it was in my mind, like completely fully formed. Like, yeah, they got a secret base in a mountain now, and it's a whole thing. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Yeah, maybe I was thinking Space Mountain. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't listen to me. Now, the last big piece of news here we got is actually a little bit of a heartwarming story. The Game Awards were last night. Not a ton of new superhero stuff. I was really hoping we'd see like some more Spider-Man stuff or some more Wolverine stuff.
No, I imagine that'll be E3 next year.
Probably. But we did see something. We saw a little bit more footage of the Suicide Squad game, which I must say is actually coming along really nicely.
It is, yeah.
Looks good. I'm interested in it, but perhaps the most important noteworthy thing about it is they showed off a scene with Batman in it, and he's voiced by Kevin Conroy, making it officially his last vocal role before we lost him just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was really intrigued to see who they were going to get to voice Batman, because
Mm.
I just assumed it was going to be the guy who voiced him in Gotham Knights.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
figured it's like the new Batman voice, that guy.
Yeah, so it's just really nice, and they even had like a loving thing there, remembering Kevin, a tribute to him, and I'm like, oh, that's really sweet,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, it's really nice.
It is, and I think, if the game was already a must-buy for me because it was Suicide Squad, but it definitely, pushed it to that extra level to I'm like, "Oh, well, it's his last vocal performance, well, I have to hear this then."
Definitely, definitely.
And as the chat is quick to remind me, actually, they announced a Hellboy game too. That's right, they did.
They did, and it's got Mike Mignola's art style.
Yeah, which is fun to see. And I love the whole, kind of like video game cell shading thing they're doing, which means the game will actually, age well.
Mm-hmm.
They've made a couple of Hellboy games before, and they've never been great. I hope
Nah.
this one actually does manage to break that trend, because there's so much good video gamey stuff you could put in Hellboy. Like, just make it Devil May Cry.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that. It looks like a cool, like, beat 'em up, hordes of zombies and demons and that sort of stuff. So it looks pretty good.
Yeah, like I think you could make like a really solid Hellboy game. Have that, break it up with like some detective puzzles.
Yep.
Oh, Lance Reddick is actually doing the voice of Hellboy in that. I thought he sounded familiar.
Ooh, nice.
That's a pretty big get, actually.
Yeah.
Huh. Alrighty then, I might be interested in that. I'll have to check that out. Lord knows it'll be better than the last Hellboy movie.
Oh, you didn't like David Harbour as Hellboy?
I love David Harbour. I just didn't like the movie. God, I want to see Violent Night so bad.
Yeah, that's his new Santa movie, isn't it?
Yes, Santa Die Hard, and it's getting great reviews, actually. They're like, this is so much better than, like, the very simple concept would lead you to believe.
Yeah, right.
Also, because it is Die Hard, John Leguizamo has the Alan Rickman role, and he's great in it, too, apparently.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I've been a booster of, like, John Leguizamo basically my entire life, and I'm so glad that he gets a cool moment. He is great. He's great in everything.
Yeah.
And they do the nickname thing too, because it's Die Hard, so it's like, you're Dancer and you're Tinsel and you're everything else. No names. But yeah, hard drinking, hard fighting Santa Claus saves a rich family who's getting robbed on Christmas by beating the shit out of them. Because I bet you didn't know Santa whooped ass, but he does. And I'm like, yes, more of this, please.
More of this.
Apparently it just works.
It does.
Yeah. All right. So with that, I guess we can hop into what we read this week. You said you didn't actually get a chance to read much this week because you've been busy.
I read a little bit, but like not as much as I was hoping to get read.
Isn't that always the way?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think you and I both read this week for sure? So let's start with that.
Oh shit.
Batman. I'm sure we both.
Read Batman. We definitely both read Batman.
Yes, Batman 130, the big conclusion to the failsafe arc.
Yes, and what a conclusion it was.
Yeah, pretty damn strong conclusion, too, with probably one of the best, most creative Batman action scenes I've seen in a long time, with Batman needing to re-enter Earth's atmosphere without dying.
Yeah, with just his batsuit.
Just his batsuit. The things that Zdarsky pulls on there, it's like, well, obviously the grappling hook is gas-powered, so he can use it to direct himself.
Yeah, and then he found a destroyed Javelin's booster, and he can use that to, like slowly get himself into position in Earth's orbit and everything.
And Batman doesn't have to worry about suffocating because he's trained his body to such a level where he doesn't need to breathe as much.
Yes, and he's got like some oxygen and it's slowly going down, and he knows he's got the time and everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it doesn't all go to plan because everything fucking explodes.
Yeah, as tends to be the case. But don't worry, though, because he can create an airtight seal on his face using his own trunk. So there, everyone who said the trunks are stupid, Zdarsky just told you to shut the fuck up. They're cool and they work.
They have a use, yeah.
They have a great use. And then Batman just lands in the Arctic and it's like, well, I'm here now. Fell from space, no big deal.
Yeah, I'm exactly where I wanted to be, near the Fortress of Solitude.
See, this is good Bat God. This is Bat God done well, where it's like, it would kill any mortal man, but I am no mortal man. I am Batman.
Well, as well, like, Zdarsky makes it clear that, like, oh, no, like, this could fit, like, completely fucked up Batman, but, like, adrenaline is, like, the only thing keeping him standing at the moment.
Also, he didn't make up anything, where it's like, no, he did this all with shit that was on his belt.
Yeah.
Guy didn't do any ass pulls, like, he just did it because he could.
Yeah, he didn't press a button and activate the satellite that has the backup space armor because he knew this would happen, and yeah.
He said, nope, he was in a bad position, but he used his training and his know-how, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting how they ultimately choose to take down Failsafe too, where Batman's like, nope, can't kill it, but maybe if we upload a virus into it that can teach it compassion, maybe it won't kill us.
Yeah, we can slightly alter its morality meter a little
Yeah.
bit and make it like give it
It was
compassion and make it kinder.
it was too renegade. We need to get it to Paragon is what we need. And also, hey, again, talk about like a great, like, kind of compliment love letter to Tim Drake, where Batman's like, look, it beat Batman before, but let's fight it as Batman and Robin. And to have Bruce say, oh, when we fight together, me and Tim, we're completely, in sync with each other, unlike all the other Robins who did their own things.
Yeah. Did you have a bunch of people who got like really pissy about that?
I did not actually.
I did. I had a bunch of people who got really pissy at the idea that like Bruce thinks that Tim is like a good Robin. I don't know why. I think they thought that, oh, well, this means he doesn't like the other Robins. I'm like,
Literally
no.
not what he said. He just
Yeah,
said that he's in the most sync because,
yeah,
hey, Tim was the first Robin who wanted to be a Robin. The other
yeah.
ones just kind of found their way to it.
And probably the only Robin who could probably match Bruce like intellectually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's the detective. Ra's al Ghul
Yeah,
even called him detective one time.
yeah.
Jace Jensen saying Batman taught me Trunk save lives. Yes, and never forget it. And so, yeah, they go through all of this. They upload the virus, and Batman still gets shot anyway, only to have friggin' Failsafe say that was compassion.
Yeah, yeah. And hell, maybe it is because we find out that he gets teleported to maybe
Somewhere.
Crime Alley.
Yeah, maybe. We're not sure.
Yeah, somewhere. Very, very much like how uh, Final Crisis ended with him getting shot by Darkseid's Omega beams,
That's
getting
right. It's exactly
teleported
like
back in time.
I make that joke in my video. I'm like, that's not the first time Batman got shot by beams and everyone thought he was dead.
Yeah,
What I like is Zdarsky actually goes all the way back to issue 1 and reminds us that this started with Batman having a nightmare about the Joker killing all his friends and
yep,
family and taking everything away from him.
yep.
Which means that Batman was willing to go and take the hit for Tim to try and stop that from happening. And I'm like, that's good heroic Batman right there.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. I like it. What else did you have this week, Matt?
I had like a bunch of like Thor and Thanos stuff.
Oh shit, I wanted to get to this, but I had so much to catch up on, but please go ahead.
Yeah, so Thanos Death Notes came out. It's a bunch of stories about Thanos that's sort of wrapped in this idea that he's arrived on Titan to Alar's lab, which is what Thanos used as like a hideout for a time. And he
Yeah.
finds all these like different files. He's been collecting information on and research on like different beings and items and all sorts of stuff. And we find this is Thor trying to deduce like that vision he had
Mm.
of as like what's Thanos up to. Is like, is
What
Thanos
Thanos
really,
wins at the end of the world.
yeah, is Thanos really dead? Because at the moment he's dead because he got fucked up by the Eternals and like sent into like a reality where he was like a puffy monster man or something.
Yeah, he got like deaded by the Eternals. They
Yeah,
fucked him
yeah,
up.
yeah. And it turns out like he is dead technically because Death appears and says, "Yeah, Thanos is dead. I've claimed him as I always do." But Thor is still like, I don't know. And so we get like a bunch of different stories. And one of them is like it's like the most mind blowing thing ever. It's written by Christopher Cantwell, and it's when
Nice.
Iron Man he got in contact with Drax the Destroyer, who was imprisoned by Thanos, and Iron Man fought Thanos, and they thought they killed him, but what they really did was they actually destroyed like a robot Thanos that
Oh
he
yeah,
used as like a decoy. Yeah, it's like a very old story. Yeah,
this is like an actual story. I think
yeah,
this is actually like one of the first Drax stories because
yes,
Drax debuts in an Iron Man story.
yes, yes. So this is Tony looking over the robot, and he wants to like kind of figure out how it works so he can better like prepare to against Thanos, and it's got Titan technology which is very advanced and
Mm.
everything. And the robot starts up again and wants to deliver a message from Thanos, and we find
Mm.
it's so fucking crazy. We find out that Thanos will again, this is the robot saying that Thanos has actually come from the future, come to the past to
Oh.
reshape all of reality to his liking so that in the future he will be the supreme god of everything, and the whole Marvel universe we've seen has just been a simulation. And Tony's like, yeah, get fucked. I don't believe you at all. And the robot tells him like, we'll just weigh this up. If someone like the Mad Titan could make me this robot, and get the Infinity Stones and all that, he could theoretically do that. And Tony's like, holy shit, yeah, he could. And he has this like existential crisis, like, am I in a
Yeah.
simulation? Like, and we learn that like in the simulation, like anything that rebels is like vivisected both physically and psychically for all time, and all this like horrible shit happens to them. So Tony's like freaking out, but then he realizes if he's in a simulation, he can't tell anyone because then Thanos would find out, and
Mm.
end up killing him or imprisoning him. So he has to live with this secret that Thanos potentially rules the entire universe they are existing in.
Is that what drives him to drink?
It's kind of implied.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of implied. And it's Christopher Cantwell writing it, so it's probably tied in with all of the stuff he did with his Iron Man run, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I
It's
was going to say
brilliant.
that sounds very similar. Huh.
Yeah, we get another cool story about Death meeting with Thanos and discussing Thanos' first love, Carnella from Titan.
Yes.
Is a very old character, hasn't been around for very long because she's dead.
Didn't Jason Aaron name drop her in his origin story? I think he might
Yes.
have.
Yeah, we learned she's like the first woman that saw Thanos as more than just like an ugly, puffy monster man,
Mm.
and loved him for who he is. And because of that, like Titan like tried to kill him, like the people on Titan tried to kill him, and they ended up injuring her in the process, and she sacrifices her life so that Thanos can live. And
Oof.
and Death basically uses her story to sort of manipulate Thanos a little bit into getting the wrong message from what her sacrifice
Mm.
meant, in that in
Right.
that in that now Thanos has to become the monster everyone expects him to be to balance out the universe with life and death. So
Right.
it's really the genesis of why Thanos has become a monster.
So there's his Freudian excuse,
Yeah. But yeah, it's good, and then it picks up in the recent Thor, because
which is not written by Cates. It was a special guest
yes,
story.
yes, so it's picked up because Thor finds out from Death that Corvus Glaive is up to something, and in the book, Corvus has like kidnapped a child, and we don't really know what's going on. He's like taken this child and is using it to try and access that black glove that Thanos has.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black glove. And Thor realizes, oh, he's gonna have to like go into hell and do all this stuff, and he ends up. I don't want to spoil too much of it because it's actually really fucking good.
And I do want to actually
Yeah,
try and read this if I
yeah,
can ever have the fucking time to read all of Hulk, so I can do Banner of War, so I can have all the
yeah.
context to keep reading Thor.
Yeah, I don't want to reveal who the child is either because it's like a big reveal, but they end up going to like this mirror that shows them like the future sort of thing, kind of like that mirror in
Right.
The Last Jedi that Rey looks into.
Oh.
And yeah, the child looks into it and sees who they really are when they grow up, and then Corvus looks into it and he sees himself with the gauntlet. That black
Mm.
gauntlet with the black infinity stone in it. So he's like, oh, well, I'm gonna get all powerful power and everything, not realizing that Thanos is probably gonna kill him for it.
Interesting.
Thor, meanwhile, is like traveling through Asgard and like recruiting people to sort of figure out what Corvus is up to.
Yeah,
And
he's got a whole team.
yeah, he ends up going to I believe it's Hell, where he runs into Bor, because
Ah,
as we
his
found out,
grandfather.
yeah, as we find out in the Thanos Death Notes, Thanos had like a bunch of files on him that were seemingly
Mm.
taken, and Thor wants to know why and what Bor has to do with Thanos.
Yeah, we don't get a lot about Boar, honestly.
Yeah,
Huh, that is fun. God, I do want to read this. I really do.
it's really good. It's really good.
If I didn't have so much friggin' Spider-Man this week, I might have actually been able to find the time to catch up.
Yeah, have you read the Thor issue 28? That was the ending of that Venom team up.
No, I haven't even gotten there yet.
Oh, that man, that was fucking good. Fucking Donald Blake comes back and he's got
Oh, holy shit, for real?
yeah, he's got like a fucking symbiote and
We've been saying forever, when are they going to bring back Donald Blake? That's the one thing of Thor ephemera they've never brought back.
yeah. You did you read enough Venom to know who Meridius is?
Yeah, he was that guy
He's the
who,
future Edward Brock.
yes, he meets him at a point there, and he's
Yeah,
like, I'm an all-knowing time god, and, I've mastered the symbiote in a way you never have.
yeah. He ends up coming back in time and infecting Donald Blake with a symbiote.
Right. It gets really confusing because it's like, friggin' Bedlam is Eddie, but
Yeah,
Meridius is
yeah.
Eddie, and everyone is fucking
Bedlam was
Eddie.
involved in this story as well, and yeah,
Again, it's all fucking connected. Again, I was liking that Venom book, but I just had to drop it off. When I dropped it, friggin' Dylan was involved in a goddamn California
yeah,
biker war,
yeah,
which was fun shit. I love a good biker war.
yeah.
But yeah, again, more stuff I had this week. Ooh, I had Daredevil 6.
Ooh, nice. What's going on in Daredevil?
So fucking much is going on in Daredevil. It's kind of amazing. Elektra might have killed the president.
Oh, awesome.
They don't say which president. She went to the UN to be like, look, I'm pretty sure the Hand is killing politicians and replacing them with, like, sleeper agents.
Okay.
And Iron Man comes to stop her and being like, yo, we know you and frickin' Matt broke a bunch of prisoners out of the Myrmidon last week. And, hey, in a great bit of continuity, Elektra beats Iron Man by using the same nanotech size that he gave her to beat Bullseye, like, several arcs ago.
Oh, nice.
And friggin' Iron Man's like, shit. I really Tony'd myself on this one. And yeah, there's like this politician there, and his face is all like covered in shadows, as they don't want to make it look like a comic character killed a real sitting president. And Elektra's like, "Are you one of them? Are you one of those sleepers?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm just the president." Creepy smile, so she like tackles him out a window and kills him, and the whole world is watching, and it's like, well, kind of hard for Daredevil and the Fist to come back from that one.
Yeah, I'd love if the president was like Phil Coulson, like in Heroes Reborn.
But yeah, so Elektra killed the president.
Nice. Awesome.
And yeah, it looks like a war between Daredevil, the Fist, and the Avengers are like, inevitable.
Sweet.
Oh, this also gives the Punisher as the new leader of the Hand a reason to act too.
Oh, really? Yeah, I guess it does, yeah.
Yeah, he like comes out of the shadows now and he's like, oh, so Elektra, Daredevil's wife, just killed the president, huh? It's pretty evil. Sounds like someone's hankering for a punishing is what that sounds
need
like.
to get a Punisher on this.
Mm-hmm. That's literally what it breaks down to. He's just sharpening his sword. It's just like, oh, well, I'll be. Guess I better get on this. That new book came out this week too. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but yeah, the Daredevil book and the Punisher book are becoming really simpatico right now.
Yeah, I've got time off work coming up, and I'm going to catch up on all of them.
It's really enjoyable, especially because I know this is headed to probably some big
event.
Where,
yeah.
Where
Shadowlands 2.
Yeah, better this time. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking, Jesus Daredevil, who's grown like a whole Jesus beard and everything, and he's working miracles, versus Frank the Devil Punisher, who has Satan powers now and is being empowered by the dark forces.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. They're gonna fight for the spirit of mankind, and I can't wait. It's gonna be good shit. But yeah, Daredevil continues to be off the fucking charts.
Nice.
What else did you have? I had 2 Spider-Man books and a Captain America book.
Cool. I had Avengers issue 63, the second part of Jason Aaron's Avengers Assemble story.
Yes, which is winding down from what you told me.
Yeah. So the multiversal Masters of Evil are fought by the prehistoric Avengers and the present Avengers, and they make it very clear that the Masters of Evil are like completely outgunned, even just by like the normal present day Avengers. They've completely like not faced anything like this before, since they immediately get their like shit pushed in.
Right.
Which is really fun. They still hold their own enough to like keep the fight going and everything, but then Doom realizes that, okay, if we're not going to win this, we'll just like take their future from them. So he unleashes like a deadly plague on the prehistoric Earth with the intent on killing every living thing on the world, so that the future cannot happen and the Avengers cannot exist.
Fuck your future.
Yeah. So it's up to the Ghost Rider of the prehistoric Avengers to deal with it, and he kind of goes all out this issue. He ends up killing the multiversal Masters of Evil. Have like a they have like this really weird berserker Wolverine who's got like adamantium like poking out of his eyes and all over his body and everything, and he fights him and melts the adamantium in him and has his mammoth stomp on him and kill him, and
Sounds pretty dope.
he ends up he's been like the crux of this whole little arc, because he set up Agamotto with the question of like, is being a hero worth it? Is being an Avenger worth it if the sin continues? And he asked that question again of Valkyrie, which I thought was a really neat pull from Jason Aaron, just because Valkyrie is like obviously a person who deals with death in humans a lot. She sees humans for who they really are, and how they can really be and everything. So she tells them like, it might not seem like it's worth it, but it is in the end. And we're gonna make sure it's worth it. And so the Ghost Rider rides off on his mammoth, on his flaming mammoth, and destroys the plague, but then also destroys himself as well. And he ends up dying. And the cool twist here is that throughout the whole book we've had this narration, and you think it's from Ghost Rider because it talks about like hellfire and like being a spirit of vengeance and everything, but it's not the Ghost Rider it's talking about. It's the prehistoric Phoenix, who, as we find out when Thor and Odin combine their Mjolnirs to create a lightning storm that is seen halfway across the galaxy, she ends up seeing it and takes that as like, oh shit, Earth's in trouble. I'm going to return to Earth, despite what Odin said to me, and protect my son.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So yeah, sounds like a lot of shit is happening in Avengers, as is always the case.
Oh yeah.
As a nice juxtaposition, you know where a lot of stuff wasn't happening, but it was actually really refreshing for a change?
Where's that?
Miles Morales Spider-Man #1 from Cody Ziegler that came out this week.
I've still got to read this.
It's a wonderful fresh start. You're going to like it a lot, because this one basically assumes, look, nothing that happened before mattered, fresh start.
Nice. Awesome. Fantastic.
And it's really good. It's just a very simple story of Miles being late for class because he was too busy fighting the Scorpion, and he has to go to school with a black eye.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Well, one that he can't explain, much like he can't explain why he's continually late for class.
Okay.
And a professor gets really up in his shit about it and actually mentions something that is often forgotten in the Miles Morales lore, and that is the only reason he's attending that nice fancy school is because he won a lottery for it.
Yeah, yep.
They bring that up, and the professor's like, look, if you're not going to take your studies seriously and you're going to keep blowing off classes and everything, I imagine another student out there would probably love to be privileged enough to get this. And, because of that, I'm actually suspending you, Miles.
Oh, damn.
So, like, Miles's life is really coming apart, and he, like, calls his parents because he has to come clean to them. And it's a very vulnerable and really relatable moment where he just breaks down. He's like, geez, Mom, Dad, I don't know what's going on. Stuff that used to be so easy is so hard now. I feel like my life is spinning. I got all these, jackbooted super cops here in the city trying to stop me from being a hero, because technically ever since Devil's Reign, it's illegal to be a hero in New York, but only, like, some of the books remember this.
Yeah. Yeah, and isn't that like as well like the Thunderbolts book is tangentially tied to that? Yeah.
It's very connected to it. In fact, Hawkeye is in Captain America this week, and he mentions that to Cap, where it's like, look, technically I'm the only one who's allowed to be a hero in New York right now. And they're like, shut up, Clint. No one asked your opinion.
Yeah, no one cares what you think.
Yeah, we're just going to keep being heroes, whatever, no matter what the status quo says. But yeah, so it's just like a really touching story, and they kind of maybe introduce a new villain who's been spying on Miles and knows everything about him. And my theory, I only thought about this when I put the video up, my theory is this person was supposed to get like that position in the school but didn't.
Okay.
That they were like a gifted person and who, because of that lost out on their opportunity, and now they're making money like upgrading lame villains' tech and everything.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. They become obsessed with Miles. They watch over him. And they're like, oh, he's actually Spider-Man. Holy shit. Nice. And I'm like, oh, that's a really interesting place to start this.
Cool. Now, I saw a thing. I don't know whether it's something that's come out yet or is going to be. And I thought it might have been revealed in this book. But like, I saw something about like where there's like a future Miles Morales and he's a Deathlock?
Ah, that is in the Savage Avengers book
Ah, okay.
from friend of the channel David Papos, which I
Yes.
dropped off on that, but I did get that reveal. And yes, the Deathlock in that book, the one who is the Terminator who got sent back in time to kill Conan and put everything back in order. Yes, that's actually a Miles from the future.
That's such a cool twist. That's so cool.
It really is. I'm like, oh, you get to have your cake and eat it too. You get to have a Miles and Deathlock in the same book.
Yeah, that's cool.
I got to go back to that. I know they did the Conan story. They wrapped that up. And now they're doing like a Marvel 2099 story where instead of going back to the present, they overshot it and went to the future.
Yeah.
You know, they just keep fucking it up. But yeah, Miles Morales Spider-Man, really great. Really easy to get back into. And hey, he's wearing his classic costume again.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Thank God they got rid of that fucking hood.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell they were trying there for a minute.
The baggy, poor man's Kane streetwear affair.
Yeah, it looked terrible.
It didn't look great at all. They don't even explain why he's back in his old one. He's just back in his old one. And I'm like,
they know. Look, we know you hated this, but we're going to bring it back.
I mean, look, he just needs more costumes for his next video game appearance.
That's true, yeah.
And the last Spider-Man book I read this week was the polar opposite of Miles, which was fun and refreshing and a good time. I had Dark Web #1. Fucking kill me, Matt.
Yeah.
I've not been this annoyed this early in a series in a very long time. Like, even friggin' Future's End, I gave a chance. But yeah, this is just everything about this is flimsy and forced and just not fun.
Really?
Yeah, everything about this doesn't work. Ben's motivation as a villain sucks. It's always sucked. It's a thing that a simple conversation could easily fix, but they won't.
Yep.
Because we won't have an event. Not only does that suck, but they're trying really hard to make Ben being, I'm an intense, scary villain now. Where you're not. You're Ben Reilly. You'll never be scary or intimidating. That just doesn't work. The lines they give him are the worst. They're so bad, I feel like Zeb Wells, who was a funny guy, is like now purposely taking the piss out of the story. Because Goblin Queen comes to him and it's like, my scythe has magic powers. I can turn pain into power. And friggin' Ben is like, if pain is power, then I'm full of it. I'm like, yeah, you're fucking full of something, all right? That's an actual line. I'm not making that up. That is a line in this book.
Oh, and both these Spider-Man books were written by the same person, right?
No, Cody Ziegler wrote the Miles one. This is Zeb Wells. Though they were both part of the Beyond Brain Trust. In fact, the Miles book mentions the Beyond stuff and mentions that Peter is acting like a dick and blowing off his friends. The X-Men show up and instantly know that Madeline Pryor is behind this because she's doing her same Inferno shit that she always does. Which is so stupid because Goblin Queen's like, yes, you will be my agent, Ben, so the Krakoa and the mutants don't know what I'm doing. Oh, but I'm going to send an army of demons up there even though that's totally my thing. So one issue in, it's like, so there's no reason for any of this? She's like, and we also need to grow our evil team too. Here's my ace in the hole, Eddie Brock, the King in Black, who is now on our team now.
Oh, okay. I don't know how they'll explain that, but okay.
Which makes no goddamn sense. No. Apparently people who do read the Venom book told me that I guess Eddie, because he's a time traveler now, he just landed in limbo at the end of the last arc and he didn't know where his son was and he's got like time confusion. And Goblin Queen said, I'll help you find your son, but you have to help me first.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, fair enough. That's stupid. And at the end, Eddie becomes gross monster Venom again with all the fangs and the big tongue and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's also now being mind controlled.
Yeah, again, this just seems like more bullshit just to have like Spider-Man fight Venom again.
Yeah, and to have characters not act like themselves. There is one bright spot in this issue, and it's the last thing I actually expected to be good. It's a Norman Osborn moment. So, like, Peter and all of his friends are together celebrating Harry's birthday. Harry, who died at the end of the Spencer run.
Yep.
And Norman doesn't want to go in and join the party because he's like, well, that wasn't really Harry, though. That was a clone who we knew for many years.
Yeah.
But Norman's like, but I kind of loved the clone, though. because he got to see me actually try and be a good guy and try and mend my ways before the end, and the clone actually sacrificed himself to save me and Peter, and he's just really conflicted about what that means. And I'm like, oh, that's actually really good. And like, oh my god, is Norman actually growing and evolving in this story? Holy shit.
What?
Where Peter's just like, yeah, man, I'm here too. This is a Spider-Man event, but like literally none of this has anything to do with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, dark web is tedious. Dark web is work. When I look at this, I'm like, oh, this is gonna keep going, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I had one more book.
All right, cool. Let's have it.
It's the Dark Crisis Warzone tie-in.
Okay, see, I looked at this and then I'm like, well, I have 2 Spider-Man books, so I'm not doing a Dark Crisis book.
You chose a good Spider-Man book and a bad Spider-Man book.
That was my thing where it's like, look, I got to do 2 Spider-Man books this week, so fuck it, I'm not doing Dark Crisis. What went on in this one? Because I know I saw a bunch of like clickbaity titles where it's like, ooh, a major hero returns.
Yeah, kinda, yeah. Yeah. So it's like just like a bunch of stories that's happening during the giant fight out the front of the Hall of Justice.
That's been going on for like 5 tie-ins
Yeah,
now.
yeah. The first ones are dealing with Iris learning about Linda Park's new superpowers, new super speed powers.
Oh, she has powers now, Linda?
Yes, yeah. She got them in the last arc of the Jeremy Adams Flash run.
Oh, and that's actually being carried over here. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, they're right. Jeremy Adams wrote this story, and he's still writing the Flash book, and that's now Wally and his family all with superpowers now, and she's got like her costume and everything, and she's like helping out the people, get people to safety, and she helps Linda, and they find a bunch of like kids who are like lost in the confusion of the battle, and they end up going to an armory in the Hall of Justice and like arming themselves to the teeth and just like blowing shit up and everything. It's pretty cool.
That's nice.
The next story is probably the big.
It's an anthology.
Yeah, the next story is probably the big the clickbaity one, which sees Jim Corrigan turn up to the battle because the Spectre has been taken over by the darkness.
Wait, but didn't Darkseid kill them all on Omega Earth because he was part of the Quintessence? Or can you not kill the Spectre?
Well, you can't literally kill Spectre, but yeah, he got turned into part of the Dark Army, the Spectre. And so Jim Corrigan's turned up. He's like, I'm sick of fucking this bullshit, and he confronts the Spectre, and ultimately has to become the Spectre again to stop it from being infected.
Maybe he didn't kill the Quintessence. Maybe he just put the dark chains on them.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was, yeah.
I want to say Darkseid killed him, but I'm like, Joshua Williamson, you wrote that and you wrote these other ones. You should know this.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he didn't kill them, or if he did, he killed aspects of them.
Right, I mean, because they are like the most powerful beings in the freaking DC universe, so you probably just can't Omega beam them to death.
Yeah. So yes, Spectre. Jim Corrigan is back as the Spectre, cool. Which is a lot of fun. I imagine we'll be getting like probably a book from him at some point.
I was gonna say, oh, he's back as Spectre. I can't wait to not read about his monthly adventures. Because when was the last time we had just a Spectre book?
Yeah. Then we had like a little Amazonian sort of story about like them sort of finding out about the Dark Crisis event before it happens, like thanks to like their what do you call it? Like the oracles, like the seers. They sort of like see what's going to happen and end up like deciding we're gonna come and help these people.
Yeah, and professional spoilers.
And help them. Yeah. They got spoilers just before they read the last issue. Yeah. We get to see like what the Green Lanterns are up to, and they're all like sort of fighting together, and which is really cool. Joe Mullen gets to like be with all of these other Lanterns that she hasn't really been with the whole time, which is a lot of fun. And then the final story is about, it continues on that story with Red Canary and Robin and all that, and the Justice League are back, so Red Canary gets to meet Black Canary. Black Canary, Black Canary's like the first person in this woman's professional hero life who's like, hey, you're pretty cool, come team up with me. Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool.
I had one last one. I'll be really quick with it. It's Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty #7. This is the Steve book.
Mm-hmm.
He got shot and betrayed by Winter
Yep.
Soldier at the end of the previous issue. But of course, Winter Soldier didn't really mean to do it. He just wanted to infiltrate the outer circle
Hmm.
so he could kill them all. That's the first thing he tries to do. He tries to shoot them. I was like, ah, crap. I guess you guys have rules in place so you can't just kill each other, huh?
I should have thought about this.
Yeah, oh, that's literally what it is. It's like, oh, so I made a bad mistake for the right reason, and now I literally just have to play it out, huh? That's literally what it is. And so he's like trying to help Steve from the shadows and everything, but Steve is like really heartbroken, thinking his friend betrayed him. Shockingly, it's Namor who gets him out of it.
Okay.
Because Steve got knocked in the water and he lost his shield, but Namor just like comes out of the water. Here, you drop this. And Namor's like, I wouldn't be upset if I were you. If Bucky wanted to kill you, he probably would have shot you in the head, not in the arm.
Yeah, that's true.
He would have shot you in the head. Also, he's always lived in your shadow, Steve. He's always gone to the dark places that you can't. Maybe, just be thankful that he did you a solid on this one. Cowboy helping us out in the chat. The last entire arc of Spider-Man I enjoyed reading was Superior Spider-Man. Arcs after Superior weren't suspenseful. Yeah, you could argue what was the last really good arc of Spider-Man that like really stuck together.
Yeah, well, if you like that Dan Slott one, he's got a Spider-Man book, which seems to be the better one of the two.
It does. But so yeah, the big thing in Captain America is he meets up with Sharon again, who has hilariously been working for the CIA trying to find Nomad, who we know is alive now because of the Sam book. And Steve's like, all right, if I got to fight this big super villain conspiracy there, we need to make a new Secret Avenger. So he makes a new Secret Avengers.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
It's Nick Fury Jr., Black Widow, Clint, that redacted robot who he befriended, and, Dryad Peggy Carter, who is also a double agent working for Bucky right now.
Nice. Cool.
Because she, too, was an enforcer, an unknowing enforcer for the Outer Circle. And they're like, look, they're going to try and kill you and start over with new enforcers because, a bunch of them either turned against them or actively got elevated in the organization. So I love that Peggy is like a double agent within a double agent. But yeah, Captain America continues to be great. Both books are great. Definitely being on my end of the year list this year for best.
Awesome. Yeah, I gotta catch up on them.
It's good shit. And actually, I guess with that, before we end the show, I guess we can talk about holiday plans for everyone because we got at least 50 people watching us. So next week we won't have a live show because Matt and I are going to be banking our Christmas show so it can come out on Sunday. So we've got a fun Christmas show planned for you. I think we're going to do like ridiculously expensive geek gifts.
Yep.
So we're just going to do like, a bunch of wealth watching and being like, man, could you imagine if you could afford this? So we're going to fuck around. We're going to have fun. It's going to be a great time. And, you can watch that on Christmas Day with your dinner. You can watch it to, avoid your family. It'll be great. It'll be a great time.
Yeah.
We had so much fun last year with it. Shit, I guess I got to run that, so I got to get all the pictures together and everything. Matt ran it last year, so that's my gift to him. He won't have to run a show. I'll take point on that one. And then on the 31st, which I think is also a Saturday, if I'm yep, it is a Saturday, actually. Yep. That will be New Year's, so I guess Matt and I will just do our favorite everything of the year.
Yeah, we'll just do something like that.
Which is good because I need to catch up on movies. I was looking there at my list. It's, comics was easy because that's work. I can put all that together. When I looked at movies and games, it's like, wow, I watched way more TV this year, saw way few movies, and finished basically no video games. Is this what 30 is, Matt? I think this is what 30 feels like. I had too many TV shows and just barely made it to 10 movies. I'm hoping to use that time in between to catch up on some stuff I haven't seen. I haven't seen Nope. I haven't seen Barbarian. I haven't seen Triple R, that Bollywood movie that everyone's in love with.
You guys see all these films.
I do. I need time to sit down and not do comics to watch them. And also to give TV a break, because like I said, I saw way too much fucking TV this year. It's like I could watch a movie or I could just stream some stuff. Any recommendations, Matt, for movies?
You mentioned Barbarian. I definitely recommend that film.
Yes, I know. I wanted to watch it over Halloween, but I never got the chance. I made plans with someone and they broke them, unfortunately.
Yeah, the new Hellraiser is really good as well.
Is it actually? Yeah,
yes.
I did hear that one was surprisingly actually good.
Yes, it's very good.
What's the rights situation like that recently? Because I know the rights are kind of all over the place.
You know what? I'm not too sure. I mean, there was nothing in it that like screamed like, oh, they had to replace this because of rights issues and stuff like that.
Because I know there was like a couple years there when it's like, look, we make these like how Fox made X-Men films. We have to make them every couple of years or we'll lose the rights.
Yeah, well, this one didn't feel like we're making it for like contractual obligations because like the guy David Bruckner, the guy who made it, like he actually likes Clive Barker, likes all that stuff, and there's like actual like artistic integrity put into it.
Oh, that's good. I haven't seen Tar yet. I know that's the big, like, art house movie where everyone's like, if you see one art house movie this year, yeah, Functorial just said Tar. Yeah, everyone's going crazy for Tar in the art scene, and I promised myself I need to see one art movie a year, so maybe Tar will be the one. Gotta see that. As someone mentioned Wednesday in the chat. Yeah, I started watching Wednesday, actually, because, again, I've just been, binging the shit out of TV. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It works. It's literally like, hey, what if we took a fully formed, totally snarky Wednesday Addams and dropped her in the middle of a CW show? The only difference is she kind of knows she's in a CW show and thinks it's bullshit.
Yeah, the only thing like really holding me back from actually watching that is that it's modern day Tim Burton, and I just fucking hate that he hasn't grown as an artist since 1992. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. He's just directing it. He didn't write it. He didn't show run it. It's the Smallville guys who wrote it and show ran it.
Oh, so Miles Miller and Alfred Go.
Yes, which is kind of hilarious that they're doing this CW pastiche knowing that they did friggin' CW.
Okay, that's cool.
Functorial also recommending Bullet Train.
Bullet Train's pretty good.
I watched the first 10 minutes of Bullet Train, then had to go and do something else and never went back to it. But I did like the 10 minutes of Bullet Train that I saw. This is my problem as an adult now. I just have no fucking time to do anything. I heard Black Phone was good, too. A lot of horror movies I meant to see this year, but never did. I wanted to see Severance. There was a lot of shows I wanted to see. I bought the first couple digital episodes of Kings of Tulsa. I was going to watch that.
That's really good, yeah.
I did watch the first new Doom Patrol episode back.
Yeah?
It's good.
I'm like behind on the season on that, so yeah.
It's good. Watch it, love it, and support it now before Zaslav inevitably fucking cancels it. That's my thing. Like, I do TikTok reviews for it now, and I'm like, hey, it's their fourth and probably last season, let's face it, so enjoy it while you can.
Yeah.
Still the best version of Cyborg in anything.
Yeah, it is. He's really good in that show.
The material he gets is amazing. At the end of the last season, he got rid of his robot parts, and now in this new season, he's being like tech support for Doom Patrol, who's finally deciding to be a super team now.
Oh, nice.
But he just feels sort of lost in a drift where it's like, well, if I'm not Cyborg, who am I?
Yeah, who am I?
Yeah, I did see The Northman. The Northman was great.
Northman is pretty good, yeah.
Northman. Man, just fucking hitting shit with swords and everything.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, him and Willem Dafoe getting fucking gacked on Viking drugs and having visions. That shit's great. Yeah, I haven't watched the last episode of Stargirl because I'm kind of like, oh, once I watch this, it's done, huh?
Yeah, that's really sad. I mean, like, she's getting like a crossover with like Titans this season. So, like, I don't know how that's gonna work because I guess she's just gonna appear.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah, I watched I was like just intrigued just because like they brought Lex Luthor into Titans. It's played by Titus Welliver, which is kind of an interesting choice. And I watched that first episode and I was like, yeah, this is bullshit. And then Lex Luthor dies. So yeah. Yeah, who gives a shit?
I swear that show is fucking designed to like make guys like you and me pull our fucking hair out.
Oh, it's shocking.
And I know people who like it, and I know people who've tried to get me to like it, but every time I sit and watch it, I'm like, this is doing the opposite of everything I would do. This feels like it's designed just to piss me off.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Every creative choice makes me go, that's bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. I don't like that. Why'd you do that?
The only good episode was that first Superboy episode with Crypto.
It was.
Yeah, it was actually like really good, and then they just went back to their bullshit.
Of course. Like seriously, when I sat and tried to watch that show, I watched it with like my arms crossed. Like, well, if I'm not going to enjoy myself, then you don't get to enjoy yourself either. All right, everyone, we're rambling at this point. Thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Thank you everyone who donated in the super chat. It helps a lot, especially at this time of year. But hey, get ready. If you love donating money, Monday the 19th from 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be doing a big Christmas charity stream. Not Christian.
Christian charity stream, yeah.
Yes, I shell out for Jesus.
Yeah, you're gonna donate all your money to that one pastor who owns like 10 jets and everything because he needs it. He needs it.
There
yeah.
you go. Well, his name is Joel too. You see. So.
Yeah, he needs it because hard times. The tax man has come by.
Times, baby. But yes, I'm doing a Christmas charity stream. There might be some Christ in it because, I'm going to be watching public domain Christmas specials. And, I got some good ones. I got some black and white ones, some weird Canadian ones, some parade stuff, animated shit from the 70s that ain't been seen in years, and no one's actually looking after the copyright anymore. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Maybe we should buy the copyright for them.
We should, we'll get it for a song.
And then sue everyone who has a copy of it on YouTube.
Yeah. I made up my little overlay and everything, and I got like Christmas lights, and I got a little wreath over the one window, so I'm really happy about that.
Nice.
Come check that out. I sent Discord invites to like you, Matt, and to like everyone else I work with on YouTube to be like, hey, I'm going to be doing this for 8 hours just talking to no one. Could you like maybe tag in at some point and talk to me?
Yeah, I'll have to see what day it is for me because I'll probably be working. But yeah,
sure.
If I can, I will.
Well, like I said, I'm doing it from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So hopefully in that window sometime you can stop by.
Yeah.
So I can talk to a human being and not just to a screen. But yes, clear your calendars for that one, everyone. That should be a lot of fun. It's going to be an endurance thing for me. It'll be the longest I've ever streamed anything, going 8 full hours.
That'll be fun, yeah.
It will be. I'll need so many piss jugs. No, I'll actually get up and use the bathroom, like a human being. Although, maybe I'll text someone to order me pizza during the...
Just put a catheter in. You'll be fine.
One time that happened to me when I had my appendix out.
Yeah.
And I was, out during the whole time, and it was gone by the time I woke up. And I'm like, they did what to my what?
Yeah, and then like, on stream, pull it out. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
All the money.
If someone donates $500, I'll pull out my catheter.
Yes, live and in color. Be horrible. But yes, thank you everyone for coming and hanging out. We appreciate it. Thank you as always for the donations, especially here in this Christmas time when I know wallets are tighter than ever. And we will be back again, not next week, but we'll see you on Christmas Day.
Yes.
And you can see me for multiple hours before that.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone, and we'll be back again next time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.